Hey everyone, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our soccer favor box. I've got all of my pieces cut out here in front of me, as should you. And I did a little bit of pre-assembly off camera just because we have some sides that repeat. We have this little motif here with the trophy and a soccer ball, and then we have this little caption. I'm going to walk you through the assembly of just one of them. Obviously, you're going to do it twice. Okay, and so this is the bones of the little design. I'm going to start off by taking this little yellow strip and just putting a little touch of glue on here. And we're going to glue this down right here. Just kind of pretend you can see the full rectangle and just get that on there as centered as possible while leaving a nice even border all the way around. Okay. Next, we're going to take this little square and do the same thing. And actually, you know what? This is not exactly a square. It's also a rectangle, barely. You want the wider side to be horizontal, but at the same time, maintain a nice even border like so. Okay. And then I'm going to take our little trophy, and we have two layers. One that's a little bit more yellow, one that's a little bit more orange in my case. The colors that you use, it's totally up to you. But this one here without the handles is going to go on top of this guy here. So just line that up as accurately as you can. Just like that. And you can see obviously where that's going to go. So just nice and easy. It's a very delicate little piece, so you don't need a ton of glue. And I'm just going to match that up with the existing little shadow area there. I'm going to pick this up. It's easier to work with. Here we go. That looks great. Okay. Now our green flag is going to go on, since a portion of it actually goes on top of the trophy. You want to put that on after you get the trophy in place. Pardon my head there for a second. There we go. And we have two blue flags. One that's pointing off to the right is a little bit larger than the one pointing to the left. It's a little bit smaller. Just like that. And we'll grab our little small guy. And put that off right there. There we go. And then of course we have our little soccer ball here. And I just put glue on the big black parts and then went around the perimeter and then a little bit here on these inner ribs, and just line that up on the white shadow element for the ball. I'm gonna flip that over, press down, get that in place, and there is your soccer ball. I actually took and used some foam squares to create a little bit of dimension on this piece. Might as well. You could glue it down flat too. Either way works. Might as well have some fun, use up some of your supplies, and make it more fun. And hello to our new Instagram user. That's what that sound was. Or Instagram fan. There we go. Okay, so that motif is done and ready to go. You'll have a total of two of those. And then let's take a look at this little caption here. Okay, so take a look here, and you'll notice that on this side, there's kind of a little round area. And then here is a little bit of the corner of, I guess, a square. Or in this case, it's the corner of the L. Okay, so this little round here is the G. The little round part there is the G. And obviously you want these points to match up with the other points. And then this corner of the square is going to go right here. So that's how you know how to line up this little element where the caption is going to go. Okay, so definitely use that little corner as your guide. I think that makes the most sense. There we go. And of course I did ink this element. Okay, now let's take a look at the actual caption. We have another little soccer ball, and I'm going to glue this down in the same fashion, mostly putting glue on the bigger parts and then just a few throughout the little ribbed areas. And then since it's so small, just kind of hit that with my finger to thin out the glue and pop it right onto that white shadow layer. Flip her over, give her a good press. There we go. Okay. Now, what we've done with this caption is there's a little bit of a border around the entire letter, and then on the bottom left corner is a sort of a drop shadow, okay? And there are markers here to help you with the positioning. It's sort of hard to explain how the markers work, but if you put the letter down next to it, it will kind of all come together. It'll click. It'll make sense. Okay, the soccer ball I am going to raise up using a little foam square, and that is going to go up to the top right, as you can see here, so that we just see the little bit of the shadow on the bottom left, like that. Okay, and the A, same thing. We've got the drop shadow element on the bottom right, bottom left, but we still maintain a little bit of a border all around on the top right side of it. So that's going to look like that. And then the same thing with the L. So it really looks like it's super dimensional and just kind of coming right out at you. There we go. Okay, there it is. So now, what I would suggest doing is these little straight areas here where the L goes, I'd use that as your guide for placement. Okay, and then just put that like that. And just kind of adjust the G until you get it in the right spot. If you want, you can also use a foam square to give that some additional dimension, but I think it's dimensional enough. I don't know that we need to add any more. Okay, and there is your beautiful caption. Okay, very cool. All right, so we've got two of those. We have two of these for the handles. These little guys here, they're gonna go onto our box, and that is for the little closure contraption that we're gonna put a Velcro dot on. So now it is time to put the actual box together, and I have that here. Let's take a look. It's just two pieces, pretty much identical. Okay, we'll flip it over. I'm gonna grab one side here, apply my glue to this tab, and let's spread that out. Pop that down, grab the other half, and pop that right into place. Make sure it's lined up as accurately as possible. Press that down. I'll grab this and fold it over onto itself. This tab here should be sitting perfectly flush on top of the tab for the other half of the box. That's a good indicator that you have everything lined up properly. We'll press that down. There we go. Now it's all one continuous piece. And now we're going to go ahead and close it up. We'll apply glue to the other tab here. And spread that out. Okay. And we can take and just literally bring this over. Just pop it into place. I'm going to still fold it over onto itself just to make sure that my alignment is accurate. You can see these two tabs here are sitting perfectly flush on top of each other, and that is a good indicator that everything is going as planned. Okay, now we can. These little tabs here, those are just to kind of, they're just decorative mostly. This is going to close like this, and then we're going to put this little guy here, right there, and our Velcro dot's going to go behind that. But in the meantime, we got to put the bottom on this so that we don't mess up the handle. Just fold that out of the way and grab these two pieces. You'll notice that on one of these, there's a little L etched into it. You don't need that one just yet. You want the one without the L. And go ahead and apply glue to one of the four tabs here. Doesn't matter which one. This box is square. Okay, spread that glue out. Let's get this bottom anchored to one side first. Get that nice and centered. Right out to the edge. Just hold that in place, and you can take it and put it down on your surface, and you can press down, get that in place. There we go. Okay, let's move those handles out of the way again and get that out of the way. Bring these 3 tabs in and go ahead and begin applying glue to all 3 tabs. You can be a little more generous with this glue here since we have a lot of surface area to work with and we don't want it drying out on us too quickly. All right, and then go ahead and close it up. Focus on getting it aligned on this side first. Nice and centered. And then if you need to nudge these side walls in a little bit, that's totally fine. Paper's pretty malleable. Okay, you can flip it over onto your surface, grab a dowel to push down on the rest of the surface area of your tabs. And just kind of keep going around the horn here, making sure that everything is making good contact. And there we go. Looks good. Okay. All right, now fold these out. Let's throw a little bit of glue onto these tabs on the inside, a little bit in the middle. Grab this piece with a little L on it and just pop that right in. Okay, I really like using my dowel here, especially this big boy. Okay, and let's go ahead and apply some glue to this piece here. We'll get that glued down onto that little area. Make sure you get that nice and centered. There we go. And don't forget, put your little Velcro dot on there so we can keep this thing nice and closed. I'm just going to put on half of it for now. Get that right on there. We'll leave that alone for now. Let's get our handles in place, and then we'll just wrap it up by putting the rest of the side panels onto the main part of the box. So go ahead and apply some glue to the handles. Get that lined up. We're going to do that on both sides. So we actually have a lot of people in our family that have played or currently play soccer. Liesel was big into soccer. My dad played, I guess you could call it semi-professionally while he lived in Poland, and then he played in some of the Chicago leagues. When we moved to the States, Gavin played soccer, Gabby's playing soccer, and I'm sure Peyton will play soccer eventually. I don't know if I want him playing football. That frightens me, but maybe he could be a kicker. How about that? Okay, so that's going to close like this. Let me take the backing off the other half of this. I don't know why this has been a pain lately. Maybe it's just drying out. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can get this off. You know what? Just going to use my little razor blade here to get under there. There we go. That works. Okay. So this is these go in, these come in, and then get the handles matched up, just like a little house. And then bring this down and press. There we go. Okay, so you see how that stays closed. Almost looks like a McDonald's Happy Meal box, kind of, except it's not the arches. Okay, so next thing we're going to do here, you'll have 2 of these pieces. Okay, and I took my little brush and I just hit the little grassy areas here because that's all that's really going to be visible. So I just darkened those a little bit, didn't go too crazy. And what we're going to do here, we're going to start with the piece that has the tabs, okay? Because only one of them has tabs, the other one does not have tabs. And we can just glue one side at a time just to keep it simple. So let's do that. We'll start by applying glue to one of these. We'll do this big side first. Get a little bit of glue on those flags so they don't go anywhere. Okay, and we want this flush on the bottom. And you want these little tabs here to match up as well as this fold. And press that down onto the surface. Perfect. And while we're holding that down, you can take and just apply a little bit of glue on this tab here and go ahead and press that down onto this side. And we can fold this back and apply our glue to the other half of this section. Now, the reason we're doing this side with the tabs is because the other half of this design, which is basically the same thing, is going to go on top of those tabs in case we are not perfect and we have a little gap here on the corner. That tab will kind of hide it. Okay, so press that into place. Make sure it's flush with the bottom. That looks good. And let me just take my little brush here and hit that with a little green. Okay, so both of these tabs are down, right? And now take this guy and just get that glued down. So we'll start on this side. Doesn't really matter. Could do either side. I'm just going with this side here. Okay, match that up, make sure it's flush with the bottom, flush with the sides, like so. Press that down. There we go. Just using my finger to feel to ensure that it's flush on the bottom. I'm gonna fold this back and let's apply our glue to this last little section. And then it's just a matter of applying some glue to those overlays that we put together at the beginning of the video. The cherry on top, if you will. Okay. Give that a little nudge down if necessary to make sure it's flush with the bottom. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, so finishing touch time. This is going to go on like this. So just simply apply our glue to this guy here. Match it up with the shadow area. Press and hold that down for a moment. There we go. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Excuse me. Whoa. Nice and easy with the glue, but definitely make sure you cover the whole thing. Okay. There we go. Check your alignment on all the sides here, just to make sure it's sitting as flush as possible. There we go. Okay, and then finally, you get the idea here. This one's gonna go here. Just gonna put glue on the back of this whole thing, pop that into place, and it's really gonna do it. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please take a moment, visit us on our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. While you're there, hit the little bell so that you get notifications anytime we release a new project, whether it be paid or free. It's a great way, great and inexpensive way for us to reach you, because the cost of advertising is crazy these days, especially for a small business like ours. By the way, just make sure that you are making this flush with the bottom there, and push those little flags into place. Okay. And if you make this or anything from our new bundle, I'd love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Tree Official. That's where I hang out, and that's where you'll find over 46,000 other dreamers that inspire us daily. So here is the finishing touch on the other side. Again, make sure it's flush with the bottom. Make sure that all this lines up. If you want to, you can open this up so you can kind of push down from the inside just to make sure that you got everything lined up correctly. There we go. And everything's holding nicely. Okay, let me just close this up and lock that up on top, and there you go. Super quick little project. That's gonna do it. Hope you had a blast, and as always, I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos, and please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section where you'll find over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly tutorials. I'll see you in the craft room.